Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome back to the books. Today we're going to be getting into a new release thriller vlog. These are like my favorite videos to film. I think they're some of y'all's favorite videos to watch. So everyone should be hyped up about this, especially because I have a ton of books to choose from. I have no TBR for this video. There have been so many amazing new release thrillers coming out that are getting such good reviews that I'm so interested in and that I have sitting over here. So I have a lot of options for today's video and I'm just gonna be mood reading the house down boots through all of these new release thrillers. Two that I know I'll definitely be getting to are, first of all, I have The Haters by Robin Harding. This is my book club pick this month, so I will be extending this vlog to read this one over on Patreon. This will be on Patreon only because it's my book club pick. I do a Patreon only reading vlog for my book club pick every single month. So if you want to watch my review for this and if you want to read along and take part of our live discussion, you can always join my Patreon. It is the Pretty Girl Book Club. It is linked down below always, and I've heard this one is so good. It's about a one-star reviewer on the internet on a bookstagram-esque kind of space and an author who spirals over their haters. So we will definitely see how this one goes. And then of course, I know I'm going to be reading the book that I'm already part of the way into, which is One Big Happy Family by Jamie Day. And earlier this month, I had read Block Party by Jamie Day, and it was just such a straightforward, juicy, scandalous, no thoughts head empty, rich people drama, suburban mystery. And One Big Happy Family is a little bit different. I'll get into it. These are the other options that I have for this video. We have We Used to Live Here by Marcus Clywer, which this one has been getting amazing reviews. It's kind of more horror than thriller, but I thought you guys would be interested in my review. I also have Bad Men by Julie May Cohen, Do What Godmother Says by Ella Stratton, and The Vacancy in Room 10 by Serafina Nova Glass. All of these have been getting phenomenal reviews, so I'm really excited to read any or not all. There's no way I'm gonna fit all of these in this video, but many of these will be in this video. But let's get into One Big Happy Family because I am already a third of the way into it. I'm on chapter 18, still in part 1, about 32% of the way through. I started it last night and I was surprised how much I got through. I just did not want to stop listening. Basically, we are following the family that owns this boutique hotel as the hotel is like battening down and getting ready to go through a storm. So it's still very much a summer thriller book, but I like that it's stormy because we've been having some summer storms here in Austin. Like, it's super hot outside, but we've been getting these like random downpours of rain. So it kind of like fits the vibes right now. And y'all know I'm such a seasonal reader, such a mood reader. It just like feels good that this is going on in the book as well as real life. And we're following mostly one perspective. We have a few perspectives, but mostly the perspective we're following in this mystery is the maid who works at this like luxury B&B, and she is staying there because she actually lives there. Hotel running well. So this maid is like completely dependent on the success of this hotel. And because she is around and she's like mostly invisible, like people don't pay attention to her, she has all the tea about the rich family. Part of that tea is the main guy, like the patriarch of the family who owned it, he just died and she knows about his will. Literally the scene that I just read, the will got revealed to the family and a lot of people got cut out, and there's going to be murder that takes place in retaliation. We are going to figure out who is the murderer with the help of our different perspectives throughout the rich family, as well as like our sympathetic main character who is the maid. And she kind of has her own subplots going on where there's drama, there's secrets, there's lies. She has her like financial situation that's tied up in the success of this rich family, but she doesn't always like morally align with these people, but she needs them to do well so she can live her life. It's a really interesting situation because it feels like Knives Out, like Lucy Foley, rich people, murder mystery, family vibes. But then we also have our sympathetic main character, so not everyone is just like a rich asshole. Like, we're actually emotionally invested, or at least I am, in our main character and seeing her like come out on top with her subplots as well. I think it's structured really nice. It's obviously going pretty fast because I got a third of the way through it, just like popping it in last night while I was getting ready for bed. I was like, I guess I want to start a little book, and then I ended up finding things to do around the house because I didn't want to stop listening. And I'm about to get back into it right now. I've been working all morning. I had sessions at the park. It was literally 105 degrees and I walked around in it for 4 hours, so pray for me. Good thing I have all virtual sessions this afternoon and evening, but I need to get some stuff done around the house before, so I'm gonna pop in my audiobook and try to do some chores, get some food in me, and recoup. Y'all don't even want to know about this laundry. Girl, I can't. Not the laundry of it all. It's everywhere and I'm overwhelmed. Hello vlog. It is a little bit later. I'm about to go back to work, but I have some thoughts on my book to share before I do. 52% of the way into One Big Happy Family, and I'm into part 2, which is all about the family dynamics between the sisters in like the main rich people family. And we're like not following the maid anymore. We're completely in the past, just following like all the events that shaped the different siblings. I feel like this is a really huge departure from like the murder mystery that I was really enjoying, but I don't hate it. The only thing that I will say is it's really hard to keep all of these women separate because a lot of them are really similar sounding in their voice. Like, they have different careers and different type of personalities, but as far as their voice goes, it's really hard to tell them apart. So that is kind of stressful for me because I will have to pause the audio and be like, wait, who's Iris again? Like, which one is that? Which sister are we following? So other than that, even though it's a different vibe in part 2, I am still liking it. It's just, yeah, maybe this is one you want to take notes on. And when I'm reading a rich people drama, no thoughts, head empty murder mystery, I'm not really wanting to take notes. So that's my only thing as of now. I'm gonna keep on listening as much as I can as I go through my workday, and I'll let you know if I have more thoughts. Hello vlog, it is a little bit later and I'm now at 75% of the way through One Big Happy Family, and this feels so similar to a Lucy Foley book. If you like Lucy Foley, I would say you're really gonna like this one. If you don't, maybe avoid it. It's also reminded me of An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina, which I love. I gave that one 5 stars. I liked that it was such a straightforward murder mystery, and this one is definitely that. Like, now people start getting picked off one by one, and we're just trying to figure out who it is. And many of them have different motives. Now we're in like a hostage situation where one of the people like took control and is keeping everyone hostage until they figure out who is committing the murders. I thought we were just gonna like continue with the lore and the background of the family, but now that we are into part 3, we're back in present day. So I like that it's kind of like going back and forth. Now in retrospect, part 2 did seem a little out of place, but it was pretty short, so like I'm not mad about it. We did get all the secrets that are going to be levied against people revealed in part 2, and now in part 3 we're seeing the repercussions of that. So interesting structure for sure. It's not like my favorite murder mystery ever, but I'm being entertained. I'm having a good time as I'm going throughout my day, so no complaints yet. Hello vlog, it is much later after work, after dinner, and I ended up just chilling, listening to the rest of my audiobook. I did some little Stranger Things coloring book things while I was finishing up One Big Happy Family, and it was honestly, it was fine. It was pretty good. It's a very like straightforward murder mystery. The killer reveals, I didn't guess them, but they weren't like the most out-of-pocket surprising thing ever. It wasn't a literary masterpiece, but like it was fine. I wish all of the secrets and lies and scandals would have been revealed over time rather than being revealed to the reader in one small chunk in part 2 and then gradually being revealed to the rest of the characters. I hate that in a thriller where we have so much more knowledge than the characters. It just then feels like we're reading from the perspective of a bunch of dummies. That was a little like, eh. And then the ending did feel a little Hallmark, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it all ended in this perfect little bow and it was like happily ever after kind of vibes. I don't necessarily love that, but overall it was not a bad book. I had a fine time. If you're just looking for summer rainstorm knives out murder mystery, this is a good one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it 3 stars. Nothing like super notable, but fine if you like those kind of things. Next up, I think I'm gonna start in on The Vacancy in room 10. This is about a woman whose husband is murdered at this motel turned apartment complex, and she goes there to see what exactly happened to him. We are also following a scammer woman who takes advantage of shitty men at this complex, and I'm pretty sure she had something to do with this man's disappearance, and so these 2 women are gonna cross paths. It sounds really good, and I'm already a couple chapters in. Honestly, I just started it just now, but I'm only like 30 pages in. I'm going to go to bed and hopefully get more into this tomorrow. Good morning vlog, it's the next day. Apologies for the wet hair. I went to yoga this morning and it was so intense. I didn't even stop sweating. When I was in the shower, I was still actively sweating. Like, I got a hard workout in, so I just need to like chill for a second. But when I was getting ready, I did make some progress in The Vacancy in room 10. Also, just have to note, I hate the title of this book. I feel like it really doesn't capture what is going on here, like the excitingness of it. It feels like, you know, this is going to be a really standard mystery thriller, like woman in cabin 10 type beat. Like, No, this is so much more intense than that, and I am loving it. The two main characters that we're following, they're both really strong, really inquisitive, like curious, intelligent women, and they're just so interesting as characters. And the setting is so funny. Like, it's this broken down motel turned apartment, and the people that are there, like, you know them, and the place where it takes place, like, you know where that is. Like, I feel like everyone will start reading this and have an image in their mind and know exactly what's going on and know exactly who these people are. Like, there's a whole cast of characters that lives at the apartment complex, and they're so entertaining. Like, there is this one mom, well, there's like a group of moms that are called the pool girls, because they literally just hang out at the pool all day and play cards and drink as their like blue collar men go to work. And they're honestly so iconic. Like, they each have their own little personality. One of them, anytime her kid does anything, she's like, oh my god, you're literally 5, take a pill. Like, it's just so funny, but at the same time, like, so real. So yeah, I'm loving the cast of characters and like the juxtaposition of our sympathetic main characters on this like almost caricature of a real life situation. I'm also really intrigued about both plot lines. There's not one that I'm favoring over the other. Both of the murder mystery and the like good for her plot line have a like grittiness and almost like a grossness that borders on horror. It's pretty intense, nothing too graphic, but it just feels grittier than like a normal straightforward murder mystery, like something like the Jamie Day book that I just read or a Ruth Ware book or something like that. Like, this just feels a little bit darker for some reason, and I'm really loving it. So I'm gonna continue to get into this one. I don't know if I mentioned I'm only a quarter of the way through, but so far I'm loving it. Oh my god, why am I low-key obsessed with this book? I am halfway through. I can't believe how fast I'm getting through this book. I'm just like obsessed. There is so much happening, so much going on. It is constant action. And y'all know I usually would prefer a character-driven thriller, but this plot is so interesting and so well written that I cannot get enough of it. I need to know what happens, and I feel like the factor that is contributing to that the most is that this book feels like it's a caricature in like the setting and the characters, and like obviously some of the events are over the top, but the things that are like the movie and book cliches are not happening. Like, things are happening as they would happen in real life, especially in the more like good for her oriented plot line, which I think is so well done and so interesting. Sometimes it's annoying. It can feel empowering and nice, but sometimes it's annoying how unrealistic good for her books read. Like, when this woman who's taking men down, like, she can just easily overpower a man who's twice her size, like, or he's not fighting back and he's immediately afraid of her. Like, that's just not realistic, and that does not happen in this book, and yet she prevails. She's also not like this cold, callous person. Like, when she does something violent, it disturbs her. She freaks out. She starts to panic. I love those elements of realism. There's also not that thing of like someone tripping or someone not being able to get into the door. Like, things happen like they would in real life in this book, where there was a moment where like there was a dead body in a room behind a locked door and someone was jiggling the doorknob, and our main character was like, oh my god, like, I hope they go away. And I'm like, of course they're not gonna fucking come in the room. They came in that goddamn room. It's not gonna be the perfect circumstances that work out for our characters. If someone's determined to get in, they're gonna get in. If a man is bigger than a woman and he's gonna physically take her down, he's gonna take her down. It's so real, and it makes the plot so much more thrilling because we know that the author hasn't just decided like, oh, this is her good for her moment and she's just gonna be a badass and take over. Like, no, she has to fucking fight, as we do as real women in real life and not fictional women. So I'm very into this book. I am loving it, but I have to go to work. I'm literally gonna be late, so I gotta run, but I will let you know when I get back into this. This massacre occurred while I was on a telehealth session. She was literally being a total and complete menace, like growling, destroying her hedgie, her poor dead hedgehog. And I'm just like sitting there trying to have a straight face, like trying to help someone heal their trauma. Like, girl, that was very challenging. What is going on, queen? What's going on? Oh my god, she's so cute. She's literally so cute. It's not even funny. Are you all seeing this? Oh my god, baby. Like, I can't even stay mad. Like, that was so distracting and wild of you, but I can't even be mad. Like, hello. And look, she left the carcass. Ugh. Okay, unfortunately we're gonna have to throw King Hedgie away. Like, I know, I hate to say it, but he's toast. Hello vlog, it is the next morning. I have a reading update for you. All this morning I've been actually carting Cameron to and from surgery. He just got surgery on his ACL, which he really needed. It was torn to bits. So I just got him set up on the couch, but on our drives back and forth from the hospital, I have been getting into the Vacancy in room 10 even further. I only have about 40 pages left, so I am a significant chunk further in than I was at my last update. This book is crazy. It is so fast paced. It has so much going on. At around, I would say like the 70% mark, suddenly everything started being revealed. All the pieces started being put together, and I'm still in it. Like, I'm not like, okay, now we figured everything out and I'm bored and like, when is it gonna end? I'm like, oh, we figured out what we thought we needed to know, but now it's opened up even more doors. So now we got to solve that mystery. I just think this is really well done. It was plotted out really well. There's something exciting and some kind of revelation every chapter. So it's really fast paced, really easy to read. And I gotta know how this is going to end. I think I'm going to finish it up right now, and then I'm gonna make some soup for Cameron, so I can just put that in the crock pot for him and he can have it while he's sitting around the house trying to recover on his little drugs, so I can go to work and not have to worry about cooking for him. Hello vlog, it is later after work and I have a little mochi here with me, and I'm also done with my book, so I have a review for you. Honestly, it was like a good feel-good ending. Like, everything ended up a way that I'm very satisfied and happy with, but it wasn't like too perfect, you know what I mean? I just thought this was a really great thriller. Period, end of story. The journey of it, the like experience of reading it was so fast paced, so well done. Loved it all. Like, this is a very unassuming book. I would never look at this and be like, oh, it's gonna be a 5-star thriller, but it is. Like, I don't even know how to elaborate any further. 5 stars, no notes. My next book I'm gonna get into for this vlog is We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver, I don't know. This is one that everyone is fucking freaking out about, giving 5 stars, saying it's a cultural reset and it's amazing. And it's also gonna be a movie, I think on like Netflix or something. It says it's Get Out meets Parasite. Basically, this young queer couple is in this house and they flip houses for a living. And this family knocks on their door one day and says like, hey, we used to live here, can we come through and like show our kids where we used to live, basically. The girl who answers the door is a super people pleaser, so she's like, yeah, sure, like come on in. And then inexplicable things start happening. It's like a creepy, trippy, haunted house moment. I'm excited for it. I've heard very, very, very good things about it, but then just recently in the last day or so, 2 people that I follow on Bookstagram gave it 1 star. So I don't know if they're just like quirky and different and like have a different opinion and like slay for them, but it's not gonna be me. Or maybe this is a bad omen and I'm about to give this 1 star. I don't know. Stay tuned. He got that set up. He's literally got everything he needs on that little table. How you doing post-surgery?
Good.
How's the knee?
Repaired and recovering.
Okay, period. Okay, period.
You're only up and up, baby.
Yeah. Good morning vlog. I have a huge update for you. Oh my goodness, I love this book. Like, I am addicted to reading this book. It's so good. It's kind of like Leave the World Behind, which I know I hated that book, but the premise of Leave the World Behind meets the premise of Skinamarink, which is a horror movie. If you didn't know, I think it came out last year. I torrented it, and when I watched it, I really did not like that movie either, but I love the premise. It's really interesting how this book reminds me so much of 2 pieces of media that I didn't love the execution, but I did love the idea. Taking those ideas and executing them in the way that I like. It's definitely weird, trippy horror, but it feels like a thriller. Like, the pacing is really unsettling, but really fast. Like, I was able to get into it right away. There was no like buy-in time. Immediately I was just in. And it has a lot of interesting things in here. Like, we don't know if this is paranormal, if this is extraterrestrial, the things that are happening. There are little pieces of like things about the Mandela effect and about like religious cults. Like, it is just like creepy pasta vibes, but in a pretty intense like horror thriller. I am a third of the way in, and like, I just want to binge this entire thing. If I didn't have anything else to do today, I would just sit around and binge this whole book. And one of the things I love is like between each chapter, you get these little like pieces of media, like documents. We don't know what these documents are for, but like this one, for example, some of them are like news transcripts, some of them are articles. This one is like a Reddit thread about the Mandela effect. And at the end of every single one of these little inserts, there, I don't know if you can see this, hopefully you can, there's like dots and dashes, like some kind of Morse code or something. I really want to see if I can decode this. It's like a snowy, isolated, old Victorian home. Like, it's very, very much exactly the book that I like, and I'm so happy I'm into it. Are we gonna have 2 5 stars back to back? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Are we gonna have 2 5 stars back to back? Unfortunately though, I do have some work to do today, and not unfortunately, but I also have plans with my friends later. We're gonna take on this project and try to recreate this like faux stained glass that we saw on TikTok, so we'll see how that goes. But if I do get to read my book at all later today, I will let you know what I'm thinking. Hello vlog, it is the next day and I am showered and fresh post yoga with a reading update for you. After I got out of the shower, I was like, I can't think about anything except getting into that book. So I literally just sat down and read another 100 pages. I'm 2/3 of the way through and I'm still loving it just as much. It's like a conspiracy theory rabbit hole is the best way I can describe it. Is it feels like going down the rabbit hole on like a niche interest that the girls may have. Like once a year I go down my McCamey Manor rabbit hole, which if you want to talk about that, please DM me because I have so many thoughts. But this feels like that mixed with like weird Reddit conspiracy theory, Mandela effect, true crime, disappearances. I don't know how to describe it to you any other way but that. It's like this weird amalgamation of everything that interests me, paced really, really well with really great characters and this really overwhelmingly unsettling feeling. I'm just like, get out of the house. Like, why is this fucking family in the house? Get the fuck out of the house. Like, if I was in this situation, I don't know what I would do. I was talking about it with Cameron, telling him like what the premise is, and he was like, I would have just simply never let them in. But knowing myself, I probably would get myself into this situation. So I'm scared. So as far as the rest of the day, I have my best friend's boyfriend's birthday party. He's turning 30 and her cat is also turning 4. We're gonna go hang out there and have some fun, but I need to eat before I go because I know we're gonna be drinking and I don't want to drink on an empty stomach. So I'm gonna do that, get ready, and then we'll go have a little good time.
Go, go!
Hello vlog, it is much later. It's actually 8 o'clock and we got back from the party a little over an hour ago. I've just been sitting here chilling, reading my book, and I just ended up finishing it. Hello? Okay, I have to preface, this book is so good, but it is not a happy book. It is not a satisfying book. It is not a book with clear resolution. Like, if you are looking to feel good, this is not for you. Obviously, it's horror, but like, it's a very unsatisfying ending. Even though you know what happens, it's not quite an open ending. I mean, there's a part of it that's open. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it is not this is not a happy story. It is like everyone's worst fear and worst dread. And that is why I think it is such effective horror. Everything that freaks me out the most was touched on at some point of this book. So I absolutely loved it, and I'm gonna give it 5 stars, but I know that this won't be for everyone. I think there were a lot of things that were like tricky little missing pieces. Like there were those pieces of Morse code that I talked about earlier. I actually ended up going online and decoding that, and it just felt like it added more to the story. I love it so much, and I will hyperfixate on it and nerd out about it and look for all the different little secret connections in it forever and ever and ever. But I know not everyone will do that, but yeah, it's a 5-star to me. I think a lot of people will resonate with it, so don't be too scared of it. But I think this is gonna be one where you either love it or hate it. I'm just really happy that I landed on the love it side, so yay! The last book I'm gonna be picking up for the vlog is Do What Godmother Says by L.S. Stratton. And if y'all remember L.S. Stratton's last release, Not So Perfect Strangers, it was a 5-star book for me. We've already had 2 5 stars in this vlog. Could we go for another, a 3rd in a row? That would be absolutely crazy, unmatched, monumental. So I don't know, but this definitely could be it. But it does take quite a departure from her last book. Her last book was very like rich people drama with themes of like feminism, classism, racism, and I love a like domestic suspense thriller with a ton of twists and class commentary. So that was like phenomenal for me. But this is totally different. This is about a woman who loses her grandmother and she inherits all of this stuff. And as she's going through it, she realizes that she was left this painting. And as she's trying to sell it because it's worth something and like get the money for it, she notices that some bad things start happening to her. And she wonders if it might be connected to the painting not wanting to be rid of her. So there's like a gothic mystery element here. She also is finding out about the lore behind the painting and the painter who was apparently like beholden to her art benefactor, who is Godmother, and I think they are going to come into the story, those 2 past characters as well. So it sounds like 2 interconnected mysteries. This is almost giving me like a Simone St. James kind of setup for a thriller, but I am really interested in how this will be coming from Ella Stratton, especially because her first book was so different. I will go ahead and start in on it tonight and let you know what I think in the morning. Vlog, to me it is officially fall. I have my little lights up. If you can see, my little Halloween lights are back and I'm so happy about it. It is fall. I filmed my Patreon exclusive video last night where I was doing all of these things to prepare for fall. I decorated my whole house. If you're interested in that video, it's up on Patreon now. But yeah, my whole house is ready for fall and I'm loving it. I also have a reading update for you. Last night I got about 20% of the way through Do What Godmother Says. I'm like 80 pages in and so far I'm really loving it, but I did notice that there are some differences as to the synopsis that I've heard other people describe this book as, which is kind of what I went based off of. So I just wanted to correct that. The main character's grandmother is still alive. She just is like cleaning out her house and she's about to move because like she's an old lady. She doesn't need to live in this house anymore. So she was helping her grandmother like clean out her house and the grandmother ended up passing down the painting to her. And I just got to the part where she's trying to get it like appraised and like really learn more about it because she's not intending to sell. She wants to keep it in her family. That's important to her. And that's when she realizes how much it's worth and how much history there is. Now, in a dual timeline, we're also following the artist Estelle, who goes by Essie, which I think is so cute. And her timeline takes place in 1920s Harlem, which is so fun, so vibey, but also so creepy. Like, it's very clear that this very young, very talented Black woman is getting taken advantage of by this wealthy art patron who is Godmother. And we know that Godmother ends up dead. I don't think that Essie did it, but apparently we're going to find out over the course of the story. And I think Shanice, our main character, is going to find that out as well as she learns more about the painting. I already feel really connected to both of the characters, Shanice and Essie. I think that is Ella Stratton's like strength in both of her books now. I just felt so connected to the characters so fast. The writing style is smooth, it's easy, it's aesthetic, it's vibey. Like, I can very easily visualize what's happening. It's just going phenomenal, and I'm like not that far in even, so I am already really loving it. I do have some work to do today. I actually have to film a couple videos and then I have to see clients, so I don't know when I'll be able to read next, but the next time I do, I'll let you know what I'm thinking. Hello vlog. I am finally done filming. Oh my gosh, that took like 10 times longer than it usually does. I don't know why. I was just gabbing it up. I have my like comfy little Halloween sweatshirt on. These are my favorite cookies on the face of the planet. And I also have like little Halloween slippers. I think these are actually the cutest thing I've ever owned in my life. And I'm about to just cozy up with my book. Let's get into it. It's also raining outside, so ooh, the vibes are just immaculate today. What do you think of the vibes? What do you think of the vibes? It's perfect reading vibes. It is. It's storming, I know, and you're gonna get scared of the thunder, but I'm gonna love it. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now, everything, this world is in balance because you're gonna hate it and I'm gonna love it. Hello vlog, sorry if you can hear the dishwasher in the background. It is just after work and I am making dinner and I got to about the 40-ish% mark, so I wanted to update you. I'm at part 2. I'm still really loving it. I feel like I'm constantly in it, like I'm in the story. You know how like visually, if you picture things in your head, like when the imagery of a story is consistent or it feels like you're in the world, it's just like, it's better. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but that is the sense that I have. Also, both of our main characters, Essie and Shanice, are really superstitious, and that's kind of like impacted by their family. Their family kind of like has these superstitions that they've passed down, and I really relate to that. That is something in my family. Like, my dad had certain things, little things. Oh, if my nose was itching, he would say, like, anytime you're not with me and your nose is itching, that means I'm thinking about you. So like little things like that I really like that are in here, and I just feel really connected to the characters still, so I'm loving it. I'm about to be glued to my book. Hopefully my potatoes don't boil over because I cannot stop reading as I'm cooking. Hello vlog, it is the next day. It's actually like mid-afternoon. I haven't talked to you in a hot minute, but I wanted to update you and let you know about my progress in Do What Godmother Says. I only have about 75 pages left. I'm really liking it still. The way that the dual timelines are kind of like mirroring each other, and both women are kind of feeling like increasingly closed in on by the white people surrounding them. Just like heart pumping. It's also really cool, like the duality there from something in the 1920s to present day. Literally 100 years can pass and a Black woman can still be in a similar situation, feeling bound by white people, especially white people in power, especially white men in power. So there's definitely some commentary going on here, but it's very subtle, like doesn't smack you over the head with it at all. It just kind of like is there, it doesn't have to be stated, which I think is more effective commentary than a book that's like spelling it out for you. I mentioned that about Ella Stratton's last book as well. I think this is one of her huge strengths, is doing that with her social commentary. The only thing so far that is a complaint for me is in her present day timeline as we're following Shanice. I feel like she is gatekeeping some information from us. I feel like she's doing a lot of research into the past, and so she knows more than we do just reading the past chapters, if that makes sense. And I don't like when my main character knows more than I do, because it's like, bitch, I'm in your head. Like, I should know. Just tell me, you know? Little nitpicky complaint that I have, but it's overall not taking away from my enjoyment of the book. I'm just really liking it. So I've been working this morning and I have to work later, but hopefully in my breaks throughout the day, I'll be able to get some more pages read because I need to know what is going on with both of these ladies. I want at least justice for both of my main characters that I've been following. When I have final thoughts, I will be back for a final review. Vlog, the unprecedented has occurred. I finished Do What Godmother Says, and I fear this is gonna be a 5-star. Has this ever happened? Have I ever had 3 of 4 books in a vlog be 5 stars? I don't think this has ever happened, ever, in any reading vlog I've ever watched. This is unprecedented. The last 2 chapters, the twists were crazy, out of my mind, out of this world, crazy. I was engaged in the atmosphere, in the characters. The one little gripe I had about our character like seeming to know more than she was letting on to the reader, wrong. She didn't actually know what the fuck she was talking about. She was trying to make her best guess and think like, I know exactly what's going on here. But Girly was delusional just like me, just like the reader. She's one of us. I love this book. Spooky, gothic, historical kind of thriller. And I don't usually like those. But this was so great, especially the payoff at the end. Not only the like arc of the story, arc of the characters, the twists of it all, like that was great. But the author's note describes the actual historical events that inspired the story. There were like real art patrons, white wealthy people back in the day that would take advantage of Black artists and like own all of their work. It's so tragic, so scary. Even like Langston Hughes, like really famous people. Like I had to study Langston Hughes in some of my theater classes because he was a playwright and just like a writer in general. But yeah, the like Godmother character was based on Charlotte Osgood Mason, and she like owned all these Black artists. I really enjoyed reading the author's note about the inspiration and like knowing that this was a real thing that occurred. I mean, obviously it's heartbreaking, but it's like, yeah, we need to know about this. Also, like 100 years ago, that's not that long ago. Like, I know it's a long time, but like in the scope of history, it's not that long. So not only was this book just like very entertaining and well done, but it also made me think without feeling like I was reading a history book. I think Ella Stratton is so talented. She doesn't miss. This is now the 2nd book that I've read of hers and the 2nd book that I've given 5 stars. I feel like you can't go wrong with any book from this video. Obviously, Vacancy in room 10, We Used to Live Here, and Do What Godmother Says, all 5 stars, all iconic thrillers. I'm so happy I read them all. But even like One Big Happy Family, it wasn't bad. It was just like a meh, neutral good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this new release thriller vlog. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you plan on reading any of these, or if you already have read these and you agree with my opinions or you disagree. I want to know it all. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more vlogs like this. And of course, don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!